Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. If you just joined us, this is TMI, this man on ITV. I want to take a look at the comments credited to Mr. President. Vote for any candidate of your choice. People are giving it so many interpretations. Some are for it, some are not really happy about it. Others are saying, yes, this is definitely the right thing. But as a party man, what do you think of that? We have an APC chieftain in the house. The first person you heard from was a vibrant tweet in the APC. But this one is a chieftain, a one-time vice chairman of a local government, and also acted as a chairman in that capacity. Yeah. Do me to welcome Honorable Desmond Ugbo. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you.
I appreciate your coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right. The next person is a legal practitioner. And of course, Alhaji, yeah, do me to welcome Alhaji Barrister. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your coming.
Good morning, viewers.
All right. He was one time a Labour devotee, but they say one time a Labour devotee, always a Labour devotee, and was also one time PAMSEC, though retired, Minister of Agriculture. The political analyst, join me to welcome Bashir Kadri. Welcome to TMI. I appreciate the comment, sir.
Thank you, Wilson, for having me.
All right. I'm going to start off with you, Honorable Desmond Ugbo. You're a chieftain of the party in Edo State. Nobody can rival that. The same question I threw at Festus. Were you shocked when you got to hear that comment credited to Mr. President, or you were expecting it to come?
Thank you, Wilson. I'm not shocked, and that has been his regular trademark in terms of statements of a president. This is not the first time the president is making such statement. I recall that in 2019, February to be precise, during the campaign rally organized by the Ogun State chapter of APC, right in Ogun State, when the president also told the APC gathering that they should vote for a candidate, person of their choice. There was an underlying issue that gave birth to that statement when Ibiku Bukule Amusu was sponsoring a candidate, one Akindele, under the platform of APM, Allied People's Movement, whereas Amusu was a APC governor. Because of the issues surrounding the primaries that didn't favor him, that got Dapo Abiodun as the candidate, he chose to support somebody of his own outside the party platform. And he made such statement during the campaign rally. Then note also that during the campaign rally at Danoya Stadium in Imo State, where the national chairman of the party then, Adamso Shomole, led the campaign rally, the President Muhammadu Buhari, also made such statements there, where he urged the TMI supporters of APC to vote the person of their choice. And also, the President also made such statement recently during a gathering of stakeholders ahead of the 2023 general elections, where the police personnel and the INEC were organizing the stakeholders meetings for security. In Imo State also, the President also made such statement, asking Nigeria to vote a person of their choice. Now the President is also making such a statement once and once again. That goes to show how democratic the President is. This, despite the fact that some other occasions where he made such statements were supposed to be an in-house gathering where APC supporters were organizing a rally. But this time around, he made this statement outside the country, telling Nigerians that they should vote a person of their choice. That squarely typifies the democratic tendencies of the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, outside the partisanship of a party man as APC chairman of the campaign council. Let me tell you this, that a president, sitting president, considering the volatility of the country as it is today, and the insecurity, the palpable tension and apprehension of Nigeria at this point in time. Such statement is befitting of a president like that. But that same point where he made the statement asking Nigerians to vote a candidate of their choice is where he also made a statement that he is very, very comfortable with the candidacy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling Nigerians and the world at large that for APC to have Tinubu as a candidate, that the APC is very lucky.
All right.
He described him as a well-known politician, which is different from a popular politician. When you say somebody is well-known, it's different from mere popularity. A well-known politician. And he also went ahead to enumerate some of the qualities.
I will come back to you.
The APC candidate.
Calm down, just calm down. I will come back to you. Alhaji, you heard him. He said he wasn't surprised. That is like the characteristic of Mr. President, but others have divergent views and opinions. What do you feel about this comment?
Thank you very much. You see, when you are occupying the seat of the president, whatever action you take, whatever step you take, whatever statement you take, you make, people have the right to read meanings to it. In fact, your private life, that explains why, as a president, he has flown abroad again for treatment. He has gone here again. As an individual, nobody monitors you. Nobody is interested in what you say or what you do. But since you have been elected as President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, then your privacy is limited. And so whatever statement you make, people will take it up and be given a lot of interpretation to it. Now, the statement credited to President Muhammadu Buhari, as a president, there was a time he made a statement that I am for everybody, I am not for anybody. It's a good statement. As a president, I'm to represent everybody, those who voted for me, even those who voted against me. I'm not to be particularly loyal or to be particularly interested in serving the interests of a particular sector. I'm for everybody. And the only thing we need to now examine is this statement, the timing of this statement. And then we may also be interested in the place of this statement. Like in literature, if you ask the question, who said this to whom and on what occasion? Who said this to whom and on what occasion? So, the timing of the statement, 2023 presidential election is approaching. We are approaching the election. Not only that, the campaigns have been flagged up. This is time for campaign now. And we also know that he is president under the platform of APC. So Nigeria expects statements from president at this period that will not be generalized. Vote for APC. APC is the party to beat. Those are the statements we are expecting. But now, making statement, vote for candidate of your choice. It's not wrong. It is your choice as an electorate to vote for the candidate of your choice. You do not have the right to compel Nigerians to vote for the candidate of his own choice.
Okay.
So, and then, before now, you will see the attitude of the president. He is such a person that has not been influencing elections, especially gubernatorial elections. Under his regime, APC had lost some states. He will not influence INEC. He will not influence the courts or their verdict under his regime. Look at the Edo last gubernatorial election in Edo State. People were thinking, there was going to be presidential influence, but there was none. They are going to rig the state. There was none. So that has been the attitude. But the only thing you now wonder is that why was such statement not made in 2019 when he was running for the second tenure? When he was coming in now, vying again for the same seat. You now say, why didn't he make such statement? The time the campaign was open, 2019, now it's coming for second tenure. Why didn't he make such statement then? Because if you make such statement then, it's like you are telling people that you may not even vote for me. Okay. But you recall at that particular period, his statement will be, vote for me. Vote for me. But now, APC is in the race. So, making such statements, those who are in APC will not be happy with such statements. They'll be expecting president to make statements at this election period to support the candidate of his party.
All right, I'll come back to you, Al-Haji. Honorable Bashir, you heard them. From what a chieftain of the APC said, he said that is a characteristic of the president, that he wasn't surprised. And of course, Al-Haji Amin said, look, the timing might not be correct because right now we are in the campaign season. Making such comments will really, trigger some emotions. What do you feel about this?
Lucy, let me first thank you for representing this item in the fall. But I must tell you that for me, I don't know why it's a news item. I don't know. I don't think it's even necessarily a news item. We have enough things to struggle to discuss in Nigeria. So many. Sometimes we give trivialities opportunity to try. Come see. First, yes, I want to acknowledge that the president made a statement. How does that make the difference? I want to also acknowledge that democracy requires that people are free to make their choice. Election, whether I say so or not, it does not change constitutional position. I also want to mention here that the contrast, talking now on the issue exact, the contrast between this president and another president before him have come to manifest again once more. Don't forget that the president in this country once told us as a do or die affair. I don't want to mention names. I'm sure we are aware of that president who says a do or die affair. And of course, today we have a president who is telling us, no, make your choice and allow the system to flow. For me, these are democratic issues that you don't even need to contest at all. But let me also put on record that, yes, it is true that the Edo experience also gave a signal to whoever wants to listen and want to care, if people read history, that this president will not want to, by any chance of imagination, be involved in mudslinging and political theater. When he was told that the door was already concluded and that the door had won, he said, okay, whoever wins, I will congratulate you. I'm sure this statement is not a signal that is strange to anybody among us. And when it happened, he congratulated the person. People were making all kinds of, how did you congratulate somebody? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And the man had already done it already. He didn't revert his steps. So for me, it's not a strange story that will now make a news headline. But taking it the other side of the divide, it is true that as a party man, they expect him to say, don't vote for anybody, vote for us. But that is not in modern democracy. It will even demean and reduce his popularity and integrity as a person. What he represented. Nigeria is going through some level of theater and trauma. And so his business as a president is to make statements that will cushion and give people a clear hope and that the future is brighter. Because right now there's a lot of tension. People are scared. Election will hold. Will it not hold? Is it going to? And all those statements have been made. But when he made this statement, taking that seriously, it has a level of relaxing the nerves of Nigerians to say, this man said we go who we want to vote for. Other than hearing him to say it is either this or nothing. Like somebody said in the past as the president. So for me, I don't think that this is a very serious issue, except otherwise psychologically, yes, some people want to hear the story of what the president is saying. Because people these days now have a new word in the lexicon, that the president's body language, his body language. I don't know how they read body language. I've never seen that as part of the issue. Yeah. Because you read body language and it's a misconception. I can frown my face while I'm smiling inside. So if you read my face and say I'm frowning, then how does that reconcile with my internal feelings? So for me, Mr. President made a statement, and the statement for me is in tune, especially when it has to douse the tension and relax the nerves of Nigerians to say, yes, we can go on and we are free to do what we want to do. But I pray that God will give him the courage to sustain that tempo, because as we go closer to the elections, all kind of pressure and shenanigans will be flying. And I'm saying this because this is very serious times, especially when you are changing from the sitting government to a new government, and especially when you are also recognizing the fact, very clear fact, that people are desperate by all sorts of imagination to become whatever they want to be. Even those who don't even know what they are following, they follow. Those who hate you, because they hate you, they don't like you, they follow. And just like that. So, but I'm praying that Nigerians to sit down, not allow the circumstances and the emotions to drive their judgment, but to sit down and think straight, because the time to think straight is now, so that we can have a reasonable leadership that we will elect in 2023, and we'll be happy with it.
All right. Well, I was speaking with Yes, as a youth party member, he expressed a fear. Well, the Nigerians will wake up one man discovered that he's been handed over to someone from the same ethnic group. He said that was like, though the appears like they will just diminish in his heart, but it's like the party members, they are having this palpable fear. After like what Alhaji said, when I was trying to come back in 2019, he never said vote for anybody of your choice. He said vote for me. If you go to the American midterm election, you get to see sitting presidents campaigning for their party. Past presidents campaigning for their party. They came out to say, look, vote for our party. Do you think all is well with the party as a party chieftain?
My brother, well, Festus is entitled to his opinion.
Yes.
And it could be the level of his involvement in politics that informed his reaction. And that the available informations to him also elicited his reaction. Like I said before, I was able to now bring in some antecedents where the president has made such statement before now. In Ogun State in 2019, February, it was during his campaign that he made that statement that they should vote for anybody of their choice. To avoid abusing the public trust in him as a president, he need to maintain some level of steadfastness. The president has maintained that. I also told you that same 2019 in Imo State, even when the national chairman then, Comrade Adams Oshomole, was asking the mammoth crowd to vote for APC, he deviated and said they should vote for any person of their choice. So that doesn't change the outcome of those elections in Ogun State, in Imo State, as it were. Now, the president, I am sure, cannot go to podium this time around to say they should vote for any person of their choice in Nigeria during the presidential campaign. He can't do that. Like Alhaji has mentioned, that you should look at where he made the statement and the context and even the circumstances surrounding the statement. The president was defending the Electoral Act that he as senator. That look for the Electoral Act to work effectively and for democracy to be sustained. There is going to be some level of freedom, of fairness on both the president and the stakeholders, including the police and the INEC. So for the president to make such a statement that, look, vote for a person of your choice, that goes to down the tension, like I mentioned before, which my Oga has alluded to. If the president does not make such a statement at this point in time, it will heighten the tension. It will lead to a level of crisis that will be very difficult to mitigate ahead of the 2023 election. So a statesman ought to make such a statement. And when it comes to party rally, campaign proper, I'm not sure the president can make such a statement. Recall that whatever the political actors are doing now is more or less like a drama. And the underlying factor is to address the semi-heightened situation of our client. And to be candid, the president has not done anything bad now. For we in the party, we know that once the election campaign starts, the president knows the right message to pass across. And that borders on his achievement. And recall that whatever the president is saying now, you can as well separate his stand as a person from the stand of the party. And that's the reason why the party is looking for everything possible to reach out to that candidate that can carry the party along by way of coming out to tell the people that, look, this is the direction of the party as well as the direction of the candidate.
Okay, all right. Now, some of the opinion that maybe, just maybe, Mr. President is not in tune with the candidates of the APC. Mm-hmm. That's why, like what you said, body language. Take it up from there.
Okay, you see, the president has two personalities or more. As president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, he is for everybody. And then as a member of the APC, the party that made him come into office as president, then another personality. So that explains why the circumstances under which the statement was made, the audience he was addressing, all matters in interpreting the statement. And the only thing you cannot do is to know his intention. People are not trying to read this intention. Oh, could it be that he does not like the candidate of his party, so he's trying to discourage the electorate that even I, as the president, I'm not insisting you should vote for this the candidate of my party. You cannot. You are not a mind reader. People who have tried to, invent machines to read your mind, they have not been able to succeed. You say something outward, meanwhile you meant something else inward. Now, another point is from the religious angle now. From the religious angle, Almighty God has already listed those who will be president of this country for years to come, years and years to come. Even those unborn, they have been listed by Almighty God. So, no matter the statement you make as a president or as a governor, it cannot change what Almighty God has decreed. And then another point is this. When you say Almighty God is just, it's a just God. It's a statement that you must fear. That is a just God. You must fear that statement. Because what it means is that for your own iniquities too, Almighty God will hold you accountable on the day of judgment. You say God is a God, just God. Oh, I like that. But if he's not just, he may punish this for his iniquity and then say, Wilson, no, I love you. I will not punish you. But it's a just God. Whether you are Wilson or you are allowing whatever, you'll be dealt with. Religious angle. Now, the president's statement does not mean that he does not like the candidate of his party or that he tries to discourage the electorate from voting for candidate of his party. He's talking as a president, commander-in-chief to that detention, and of course, it's a statement that is expected of a president. If that statement was made by the campaign manager or any other person on campaign ground, not the president, oh, you can now read other ministers. So this is anti-party statement you are making. But as the president, you are to vote for candidate of your choice. That is democracy. You are not to be coerced or forced to vote for any other candidate. And so, it's very much in order.
All right. This is a campaign period. Whether we like it or not, the president, though they have a chairman of the party, is the number one man of the party. Some are saying that the comments of the president pertaining to this particular issue, vote for anyone of your choice, can be likened to what he just mentioned, anti-party activities. He said these comments can demoralize even the strongest of all candidates in any political party. Take a look at the APC. After all, this is a campaign season. Why should Mr. President take that stand or even speak in such a manner? What's your view on that?
Let me say this very simple. You see, sometimes, like I said earlier today, I didn't even see why this was a subject of discussion. However, we are here to discuss.
Yes.
But let me tell you one clear story. I think Nigerians should stop looking for those who deceive them. It's like we like people who tell us lies and we celebrate them. A society where odds are becoming the rules. That's my fear. That I speak the way I feel now becomes an issue for people to analyze. Now, let me give you this clearly, my dear. The truth is that what Mr. President said is not new to us. It's not new. It's not a new story. The man has done everything to tell the world that I'm prepared to promote democracy. And if you're a democratically elected president, you owe the people of that country the moral obligation to sustain the tenets and the principles of democracy for which you came on board. The platform today you're running as the president is because of democratic ethos and clear defined rules that brought you on board. So if he makes statements as president, not as APC member, let's get it clear.
But it's both.
No,
he's
hold
an
on.
APC member and he's the president.
Hold on a
How
minute.
can you divorce both?
No, hold on a minute, my dear.
Yes.
When you say Mr. President, you will not say Mr. APC member. You won't say so. Don't forget that you are a married man, you have a wife. But you work in ITV. In ITV, you are what? You are a presenter. In your home, you are a husband and a father. Then, incidentally, I will not be assuming you in your home and as presenter. When you're supposed to be doing your home affairs, you now become presenter. Can you go home and sit down like this in your home and sit down like somebody on the machine? No. So, for God's sake, let's understand this clear picture. I appreciate Nigerians because we are a growing democracy. So we are bound to have this kind of emotions. But what is clear is that the people naturally decide who rule them. Nigerian democracy is growing. Why Nigerian democracy is where we are today is because the followers are yet to take responsibility of their role in democratic principles. That's the truth. If America had the experience that Nigeria had earlier, I'm not sure they will have America today standing. The Americans said, Trump, excuse us. And they excuse them. And they have a country going for them. So, for once, let Nigerians begin to think as Nigerians. Now, the second thing I want to mention to you, my dear, is that in clear terms, that the man made a statement was not absurd. He made it in a situation where he need to make it an international forum. Not a local forum, an international forum. Then people record it, because of course, the president has no privacy. The other day he said there's another room. People were making comments. Is it not true there's another room in his house? There are other rooms. What is wrong with that? But because he's the president, people were making comments. So I'm not surprised. But the issue is this, is that let us take these comments and take it in such a way that we understand that the implication of what he has made was to help us settle the anxiety and the fears and the crises that were looming in our country. So that by the time the elections are here, people will be freer to move. Nobody will go and use president's name to say that Mr. President say. Do you know that many a time people use your name without even you knowing it? Just because the statement you made yesterday, people will come and use your name. In elections we have seen in the past, Mr. President's name were being run, that is coming. Mr. President will just use his force, but it didn't come. So I want to create maintenance of Nigerians. Let us take this statement he made as an issue that will help us douse our attention. That we are free. We're not in a cocoon. We are not caged to follow a particular trend. But I must confess to you that he has shown statesmanship in that statement he has made. Otherwise, other people will be running into emotions. But I want to also thank God for his life. That to him, whoever wins, Nigeria, but that means that Nigeria must decide. So in this statement he has made now, he has told us as Nigerians, sit down and think well. The time to think and analyze who you want to vote for is now. But he didn't by any chance undermine his party. Because otherwise, if he was not prepared to follow his party's leadership, party candidate, the primaries would have been in his beck and call. The primaries were within his beck and call. He has a decision to make in the primaries, but he didn't do that. The party was allowed to make a choice of who they want in their party as a particular candidate, which they manifest. Whether we like it or not, but that's what the party wants.
But according to Nigerians, where dollars were shared.
No, but my dear, let me tell you one thing. All the parties, wait a minute, let me clear this story. All the parties share money. Even those who are today shouting that they were supposed to be the president candidates of their party, they spent. Some spent $20,000, some spent $15,000. So what are we talking about? All right. So if everybody does the same thing, why are you holding this man responsible? If otherwise, they will all be culpable.
Okay, I will come back to you. I'll come back to you, sir. Now, back again to your part. We'll talk about other issues about the burn of INEC offices. Is it not right for one to sacrifice loyalty to the party as against loyalty to the nation right now, in quote? Don't forget, there's this seeming connection between the candidates of the opposition and, of course, the candidates of Mr. President's party. Don't forget that also these kind of oppositions stood in for Mr. President why he was given as someone in marriage. People look at your I am telling you the thoughts right now of Nigerians.
Yes, that is coming from
hence the body language.
Opposition. That the president's statement is tantamount to supporting somebody outside his political party.
Yes.
That is totally wrong. that is the kind of person that APC is determined to continue to bring on board to govern this country. People that are democratic, people that are determined to sustain Nigeria's democracy. So that the idea of somebody saying that it is a do or die will be consigned to the dustbin of history. Today, those who made such statements are now even afraid to come to the public to direct the country on who to vote for. That tells you that democracy is becoming very more matured in this country. If we had not gotten the type that we had now, the kind of Buhari, I'm very sure that people would have been afraid to come out to even profess democracy or to talk about politics. Today, the man they said is dying, or the man is, they said is Jubrin from Sudan, is the person telling Nigerians that, look, you have the right, as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution as amended, to vote for whoever that you want to vote for. That informed the decision why some political parties, including APC, are going to the people directly to talk to them, telling them, this is what I want to do, this is what I have done before, so that the Nigerians can have an informed decision to vote them accordingly. Not coming to newspaper or television station to engage those who cannot engage with you. And that is the reason why the party as it is today, majority of the leadership of the party are not weary. They are not perturbed by the statement of the president, because it's not new to us. It's not new to us. This is a statement of a true statesman. And that Nigeria, well, you made such statement that the president is #1 party man. No, that is wrong. It is the national chairman of the party that is the #1 party man. It is the party that begot the president. It is not the president that begot the party. So if the Nigeria of our own is not safe, it's not conducive, it's not promising for free and fair election, there can be no political party. So the first thing you do is to guarantee the safety of Nigerians, to have that freedom to go to the field and vote for whoever they want to vote for. And while the party are also doing their work, telling the electorate that, look, this is what I want to do, this is what I can't do, this is what I have done before, this is what I want to do, so that you too can also have an informed decision to vote for me. So the idea of coming with scam messages, scam electioneering is gone, and is gone for good. It is now the lot of the electorate to engage the candidate themselves, asking them, I heard that you were doing this. Is it true? The person will have the chance to tell you, look, it is not true, or it is true. So the era of politics going by way of scamming the populace is gone. So that is the reason why even the advent of this social media that is fond of misleading the people should be checked properly. Why taking the politics? Let me tell you, politics of today is different from politics of yesterday. The electioneering tactics you deployed yesterday cannot work today. Even the one you deployed early this morning cannot work this afternoon. An indication that the socialization that has come in is so evolving that people tends to follow along. If not, you'll be left aside. So today, APC is ready to ensure that the person that will succeed the president is such a person that can also deepen the democracy, sustain democracy, as the president is currently doing. The reason why after the primaries, President Muhammadu Buhari called all the APC governors, all the APC stakeholders, telling them, look, I want to tell you the person that will succeed me. The reason why, after making that statement in diaspora, he also concluded by saying that Tinubu, the party is lucky to have him, and that because of his antecedent, we are very confident that we will win. He used the word we. He didn't say I will win or he will win. He said we will win, because he is a party member, and by all implication, is indirectly telling the world in such a climb that he made such statement that the party that he represents will win the forthcoming general elections.
Okay, well, to call it a wrap on this discussion segment, because we have other segments to really dive into. Alaji Alao, I mean, what advice do you have for APC members, Nigerians, and of course, Mr. President, because this is an election campaign period?
Okay, the advice I have for APC members in particular, and then the other parties, especially, yes, the other parties. See, some members of other parties, not APC, may want to take advantage of the statement of the president and may try to blow it out of proportion. That, oh, see what the president said. Oh, he's even not supporting his candidate. You see what he said? He's not even supporting his candidate. They will use that as a point to drive home other points in order to woo people to their party. And so that explains why we are x-raying this statement of the president. And that's why I said that the timing of the statement really matters. As a president, nothing bad in making such statement to ensure that democracy is strengthened. But the timing of the statement. Now election is close, and this is time to campaign, vote for candidates of my party, and you never made this statement in 2019 when you are vying for the second tenure. And so people are likely to read meanings to that utterance. And of course, the way we are now looking at that statement and looking at it once again will also make the president to wake up and possibly come out and make another statement and say, oh, this, I didn't mean this, this is what I really meant. Saying vote for candidate of your choice, I'm talking about democracy. I'm not saying I do not like the candidate of my party. So he may need to come out and now, and now, of course, this may also guide him in further utterances within this period. Knowing that whatever statement he makes, people are likely to read meanings to it. And that explains why when you are writing and when you are making statements, write clearly and make statement very clearly, not big, in such a way that the listener understands the message you are passing across. Because you may not be there to explain. The lecturer has given you, you have answered. You now got to, oh, you cannot explain that this is what I meant, Mr. Lecturer. It's already there. So be guided, make sure you look at the statement you are making and then look at the implication of that statement before making it. This will guide the president. And of course, Nigerians should be assured that they have a president that is democratic. And if you look at his antecedent, in 1984, the currency was changed. Buhari did one regime. A similar step is taken now. Suddenly. And so, what is going on? So that means he has the interest of the country at heart. There are some people he really wants to deal with. People, the money bags, who must have kept some volumes of naira in some warehouses and so on and so forth to bring it out at a particular time to oppress Nigeria and say, okay, I'm going to destroy that. How do you now carry trailer load of naira to the bank?
All right.
No, unless you have it in other currencies like the dollars and so on and so forth. So I think the president should also always properly reframe the statement at this particular period. So
Thank you. Thank you so much, Olaji. Well, I'm just going through some comments right now. Some are saying, well, we cannot trust Mr. President. They are still taking a look at that statement he made. You can vote for anyone of your choice. And that is where the issue of trust comes into play, because some party members are saying, since he can make this comment, are you sure that this man doesn't have something else in his mind? Advice to Mr. President, the party members, opposition, and Nigerians.
My advice first is that opposition should not go to bed. Because the president said so. It is time to work. The second is that opposition should also realize that if the president had made a contrary statement, they will be in war and crisis. The third is that the party itself should be happy the president made that statement, because it gives the party some level of credibility and integrity. That the man leading the country did not say, my party, my party, my party. He said, Nigeria, Nigeria, and Nigerians. So it is imperative that no matter what you say, my brother, once you are in leadership, people must give meaning. Let me tell you, even if you cough, people will make statements out of your cough. Even if you are laughing, they will make it out of your laughing. When you frown, they will make something like, it's like a madman. Somebody say that man is a madman. And then the next thing you see the man frowning, say, hey, you won't start madness again. You see the man smile, say, you don't enter your head. Oh. You know, and whatever you say, people will define it in what they want to hear. So for me, Mr. President, go ahead and tell Nigerians what will cushion their intention. Let Nigerians understand that it is not a war zone. That an election is not a war. It's about electing who will take care of our country the next phase. Mr. President, remember that the legacies we are going to leave behind, one of them is how the elections that are conducted now are well conducted. That's going to be your legacy. You cannot come back and correct it again once the time is over. It is time-bound, and because it's time-bound, everything you do should snowball into a successful election. That Nigerians will be saying, yes, we have an election that came, and we saw, and we conquered. Because today, we're talking about Buhari. In the next few months or 1 year, somebody has to be on that throne. It's not a choice, it's what has been defined by law. Incidentally, the lawyer is here. But that, again, is something we cannot run away from. So, Nigerians, let's stop bickering on what the president said. Let us face our assignment as party men who have our responsibility to deliver our party to the place. Whether you are APC, PDP, LP, you are ADP, you are a PROP, whatever you are. I watched TV, I saw everybody working. You should work harder. Leave this Mr. President's statement. Leave it to the Mr. President. You face your assignment.
Not leaving it right now because they are banking on that statement right now. People are like saying, please,
let me tell you one thing, my dear.
Yeah.
If I want to pass you in a race, as a race man, you know what I do? I make things behind you so that you can be looking back and I will run past
Distractions.
you. Yes. I give you feeling that it's normal, and then you'll be looking back and I will run past you. So this is a race. I asked all the political parties, 18 of them I understand are running the race. All of you should sit up, lead president's statement, and pursue your political ambition. The future of this country is all our hands. If Nigeria is better, it's for all of us. If Nigeria is in crisis, we are all in trouble. Nobody, if you are overseas, anywhere you are in this world, once you are a Nigerian, people know you are a Nigerian, you are already blackmailed if Nigeria is not good. So please sit up. My final take, sir, is that as we talk about this, let every other Nigerian leader be thinking the same manner. Let the Nigerian leader be very clear, open up his mind. Because I see people after election, they hate people like poison. The thing is that at the end of the election, you see the man saying that family can never be friends again. You will poison your children's mind, even your grandchildren will be poisoning their mind against that family because they were another party. It's crazy. The elections cannot be the issue that will keep all of us in divide. Let us be united and have a country we call our own, and we're proud about Nigerians. And Nigeria have a future and a great country. And I trust that Nigeria, God willing, Nigeria will be a great country. Nobody can stop it from being great.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. When you've heard them, we're saying the timing. I say, look, forget about the comments. Work hard. Why do I say, look, there is peace in the party? Even supported our candidates at the end of the speech. Well, what do you think about that? Because when I went to the social media, I saw reactions. Some for, some against, and some just undecided. What do you think this really portrays in the forthcoming election? Don't forget that Mr. President said a few months ago that 2023 election is not his problem. He said that it's there in the social media. And people are saying, comments, reacting to that, and linking it to this comment. I think, wow, too many comments about this election. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Gentlemen, it's like arsons are on it again. The arsonists, they're burning the electoral umpires' offices, Osun, Ogun. And the election is like few months from now. People like saying that this should be checked, and this is shaking the politics, so to speak. Honorable Desmond Dubois, how did we get here? Is it going to be a norm? Whenever we want to come to an election, to go after INEC offices, go after INEC properties? What is really going on?
Thank you. You see, these are seeing activities or arsonist activities. It's not because we have 2023 election that we had a case in Abeokuta and Ede South local government INEC office. Between January 2019 and May 2021, we had 41 cases of destruction of INEC office and materials. which happened in 14 states. And majority of these were done by gunmen, arsonists, and the NSAS protesters also had their fair share in the destruction of these INEC offices. Even in June this year, in Enugu, the arsonists also done their worst in the destruction of INEC office, which goes to show that the INEC should collaborate with the security apparatus of the states, including the local vigilante, to secure their offices. It is not because the election is coming. It has become a pattern by those men of the underworld, those whose preoccupation is the destruction of public institutions. We are not mindful of the fact that, yes, there are some cases that are politically motivated, where people who are apprehensive of their imminent failure or loss in the election will go there to sabotage the effort of others who are prepared to win the election. But in this very context, it is now the lot of Nigerians, including the stakeholders, to put all effort together, join INEC and the security officers to police the various INEC offices, because only recently the INEC has started deploying sensitive and non-sensitive materials to the various headquarters ahead of the general elections, which goes to show that, yes, the INEC themselves are up and doing in the preparation ahead of the general election.
All right.
And if the stakeholders, I'm talking about the police, other paramilitary, and even the local vigilante are not collaborative enough now to join the INEC to police their respective offices, it will go a long way to affect the general election in some part of the country. So it is not a matter of INEC alone now. All hands should be on deck in checking the excesses of these men of the underworld.
Barrister Lau, you heard him, he said it's not because of the election, so to speak, it's like a pattern. What's your view?
Thank you very much. This is a very, very worrisome dimension, and we always focus most of the time when we are about passing blame on leadership. But you see, you also have serious problem with the followership. The Prophet Islam says that your leaders will be as you deserve. Those leaders you are condemning were once followers. You chose them, you appointed them, you elected them to be your leaders. They are from amongst you. And so we see have serious problems too with the followership. And sometimes the followership and the leadership working together. Possibly the leadership now, or those who are, influencing some followers to take some wrong decisions. There are some steps that cannot be practically taken by some leaders, if not with the involvement of the followers. For example, if, because the election is coming, a particular candidate or a particular party is feeling that, oh, this is not our catchment area, we are going to get block votes against us in this particular area. Let us try. Those voters who have not been able to get their voter cards, let us go and destroy them so that they will be disenfranchised. These are possibilities. Everything ends on suspicion. The arsonists, you have not been able to apprehend them to arrest them. Why have you done this? They are suspects. It's very difficult to monitor the person that is monitoring you. Vigilantes, yes, they are doing their work. Police, they are doing their work. But the person who wants to go and set a building ablaze, you need a jerrycan of petrol, then fire. You go at night. It's very difficult. But if the followers are determined to say, no, this is our country. Because now, enormous taxpayers' money. We are talking of hunger. We have economic problem. You are now trying to compound that problem because you are thinking that you want to do a particular thing for reasons best known to you. So it is act of sabotage and is highly condemnable. It's a cowardly act. If you know you have grievances, come out with your grievances. Come out with your grievances against whoever. But now going to destroy INEC material. Some feel, oh, it is the country we are fighting. You know, when this were happening, this is not part of the country. So, oh, these are people who are trying to frustrate the election from holding. But now, Oshu, Ogun, the Westerners are not trying to frustrate the elections from holding. So we now start thinking of why should that happen? Or could it be those from other parts of the country that are gone there to do that? That, okay, this will not only happen here, we are going to frustrate the election opening. And it's possible, as I said before, will it be that some parties are saying, oh, this is not my catchment either, let me go and those voters card, let me go and set them on fire, so that the voters will cast their vote. And so it's now left for the INEC chairman, INEC as a body, to see what will be done to ensure that people are not disenfranchised.
All right, I'll come back to you. Well, Honorable Kadri, you heard him. He said sometimes some followers are just having this mischief in their head just to, you know, how will I put it now, make their opponents weaker by going for the INEC offices. I mean, does it really make sense to do that?
Now, first of all, I tell you this, my dear. When a man says, because I don't like you, anytime he sees you, he closes his eyes and start walking. Whether he likes it or not, they will jam the wall. So the man you don't like, don't close your eyes, don't see him. Try and ask yourself, what is the problem? How do I get this man settled? Now, what has happened here is that the arsonists assignment it's not today. In the 50s, we have Western Nigeria Operation Wetier. This is historical reality. It happens. We have similar experience in the north. It happens. It's just that now it's changing from, because then they were block states. They were block states. Yes. Northern Nigeria, Western Nigeria. Now we now have 36 states of that block of 3 or 4, as it were. Now, I tell you this, whether we like it or not, this is function. What has given this the kind of fueling and power is that there's a collapse of our homes. We hardly have homes now, we have houses. So there are army of young men everywhere waiting to be used as cannon folders. And this way I would advise parents and everybody, sit back and ask yourself, what role am I playing as a father and as a mother in my home? Do I still have my children in my home, or they are now street boys? We have got so many street boys that are now waiting to be used. Some of them do not know that when there's no country, they can't even survive themselves. So it is imperative that everybody must put hands together, because now we are looking at INEC office as just the subject matter. Don't forget that it's everywhere now. It's everywhere. Somebody don't like your place in the village, the next thing your house is burnt down. There's a trouble to sell land in the village, and you say don't sell the land, your house is in danger. People attack people indiscriminately. You go to the street, you see young men doing nothing. In the morning, they wake up in the morning, they walk like in drones. In the evening, they go back again in drones. Now, you also hear the story of people using ritual and all kind of desperation to make money. These are all signals of social failure and family unit collapse. So the homes, we must bring back our homes, because some of us grew up in homes. That is why we had our values that are driving our head. What has happened? Parents who have homes now no longer have homes. They were brought up in homes. They now leave their children in the streets. How do you expect that a child who is being told that if he carries a laptop to the church or go to the spiritualist to pray for him, he can do fraud, and that boy will be normal? He can't be normal. How do you expect that a young man who of course woke up in the morning and the mother took him and said, come and fight, beat your teacher in the school, and a teacher just warned the boy yesterday morning in school. The boy went to school and the teacher warned him from misbehaving. The next thing, he told the mother came with talks the following day. The teacher, be careful, leave my child alone. If you touch him again, you are dealt with. Some cases, even the teacher in the school talks. And that child will be responsible? No. The child will be part of the army that is being built up. What we're having today is a built-up army from collapsed homes that are now waiting to erupt. This is a signal. INEC is just one. Look at the NSAS drama. The young men who have NSAS may not have contemplated what they saw, but they were overrun by this army of young men whose business is to run anything they see is destroy and kill. Go and see some of them. They don't talk the language you hear. What they talk is, I will blow your head, I will smoke you out, I will kill you, I will do this one. Everything is dead, 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 dead. But when they see them themselves, they are running away. They are shouting. They go to Babalawo and please help me. I'm in trouble. Say, but you went to covenant with this demon. And now the demon say, come and you are saying you don't want to go. No, you have already done it.
Right.
So parents, this is a time we must call the homes, we must call parents to work, because the children are the army they want to use. Parents should please wake up and help this country.
All right, I will come back immediately after this break. Don't forget to mention that over 65,000 PVCs were destroyed. Do you think it's going to have an impact in the election? Don't go away. We'll be right back.